Hi guys, this is a tour of the venues that we can use for the Second Life Mooc that will be happening in April. I'm standing in front of my learning center. I'm starting at the eastern end of this roadway off of Route 9, and then I'll just go right up so you can see all the different areas. So this is the downstairs of my visitor center. But what I was thinking, and I'm going to go upstairs. Dee, 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 dee. We're walking and we're walking. This is the discussion room on the second floor, and we can change the configuration of this so that there are a different amount of chairs, or the this thing is done in a different way. There's room on this wall that I'm turning towards now for a PowerPoint. The third floor, you can see there's a stairway over there. The third floor is going to be a library, and it doesn't have very much in it at the moment. We can also use that. The thing is, if we have two discussion rooms in this building, everybody will be able to hear each other. But if we have some kind of activity in this building and some kind of activity next door at the IT for, the integrating technology for all building, that's a different parcel. So people over there would be able to have a private class, and people over here in one of these two spaces could have a private class. So this is the beginning of the library. Eventually there'll be bookshelves all around these corners. Now I'm going to go up to the roof garden, which is still in progress. And these are anywhere doors. Whoop! But I have to go through it, like that's the point. Okay, and this is basically the roof. It gives you a good view of Madhupak. And also up here, I was planning on putting a fence all the way around and setting up a more auditorium-like presentation area, with a PowerPoint and a podium and a lot of smaller chairs. And from up here, you can also see what the whole area looks like in the education village in Madhupak. This flat roof that's right down here in front of me, that's the Viejo San Juan Cafe, which is kind of fun. And then these are people who live in the area. This is Glenn Gatlin's Conviviality Corners. Let me turn a little bit. This whole area here is the educator's sandbox, and then along here are the other buildings. So I'm going to just fly down over here to the street, and then we can take a look at the space in the Integrating Technology for All building. Ooh, there I go. I'm falling to the ground, but I'm okay. The magic of Second Life. All right. This building right here is, let me get up so you can see the, so you can see the sign. There's the sign, Integrating Technology. And then this is empty at the moment. Dolores, you and I were here at one point looking at it, and right now it's just got some information at the back about the IT for All Moodle classes with a URL giver. And then there's the staircase that goes all the way up. Now this floor, I thought we could use these walls and this open space as a place where students could display their projects, because it's really kind of a big space. So if we do, say, a building activity where we teach them how to make one of these wall things or to build something else, this would be a good space to put their work in. Well, let me turn around, and I'm turning around the camera instead of me. One sec. Ooh. Now we got to go up these stairs to get up to the second floor. And the second floor is a big open space that could be also set up for classrooms or to do building in or whatever you might want to do. But it's a nice open space that's private to the outside. There's no windows up here. So that's another space that we can use. And this space is on a different parcel completely from the Learning Center next door. So if people have a class in here and there's one going on at the Learning Center, they won't hear the other people. They will hear the other people if there are people working on the first floor and the second floor at the same time, because that's all the same parcel. I can lift up the building and cut the land in half so we have different parcels, which maybe would allow people to be on one side of the upper floor and one side of the lower floor for voice privacy. Okay, and now we're walking towards the west, running along Route 9, and this is the Educators Resource Center that I mentioned to you. What we've got in here are a lot of freebies for teachers, some relating to SL training, some books that are, recommended for people, and for building classes. All kinds of different things are in here. And then there's just some general freebies too, like tables and desks and lamps and sofas, and then clothing for male and female avatars, free skirts, free jeans, all that kind of stuff. When you come out the back end of this, you're right in the middle of the sandbox. And the sandbox is a great place to do building classes, or we could even set up an event out here on the sandbox, like a dance or something. These two other buildings, the blue building and the pink building over here, um, are rented by tenants of mine, and all of these buildings on the side here are rented by tenants, except for, let's go over to Conviviality Corners first. This one here, this little beigey guy that's in front of the castle, this is where Glenn Gatlin has his classes, and wow, how did this tree get out here? He's contributed to the he's contributed to the area, so that's why he's able to have this space. Somebody just left this here. Okay, wait a minute. Let me get this out of here. So this is one of his classrooms. So if we get him involved, he can use this space for his students. And this is parceled off, so anything that's said inside the building isn't heard outside the building. And then a nice kind of sitting area, and then this is like a this is like a little bleachers, so that can also be used for a class. And then over here, this really big building, which is going to eventually have a second floor on it and might end up being not quite as large as it is now in terms of the width. This is the Connectivism reading room, and this was started by Chris Collins from University of Cincinnati. I think that's where she's at, and she's well known in a variety of grids as Fleep Took. And these are records from, these few things that are left here are records from the CCK '08 course that she was in, because she ran one of the get-together groups here in Second Life. So, as you can see, there's lots of options over here, and it's a fairly if I could get out of the building, it's a fairly quiet area. If we go up this walkway here to the north, we'll eventually get into the heart of Chilbo, and Ellie Brewster has her teaching space there. There's a Sloodle teaching space there, and a few kind of interesting things. It's a little emptier than it was, quite a bit emptier than it used to be, but there's some stuff there. And then I'm just gonna take you down here and show you the Viejo San Juan Cafe, and then another kind of interesting build. And also a little play space that's farther south. So this is the cafe, and you can come in here and sit and chat. This is also another space that could be used. It's actually my space, so I own that, and I have a bunch more of these chairs and tables. They're copyable, so we could actually put more in if you wanted to. So you could run a class or whatever in here. And then it's kind of fun because you can get a bagel out of the display case, or you can get some Puerto Rican soda or other stuff, and it usually has some really good music going on in here. So that's another space that I own. And then let me show you this space. Whoops. This space over here is run by a guy named Scalar Tardis. I don't know who he is. I think he's an educator. And sometimes this is set up for events that he's doing, and sometimes it's set up with displays of physics and things like that. So let me go up again, and then down to the south, not so far away, is some other recreational space that we could just use to kind of hang out in. And I know the woman who owns this, so I can get permission to do that. It's like a little beachy space. Let's see if it reses in. You can kind of see it. The walls haven't gone up yet. But this is the beach down here, and the ocean, and it's basically a bay in on the mainland. And let me get back a little so you can kind of see this. So this is Helen Santoro has built this nice little recreational area, and there's water and a fountain and a little boat and all kinds of stuff. So that's kind of fun, and that can be used. And then there's other auditoriums up in Chilbo that I'm kind of in charge of, even though I don't own them. There's some outdoor auditoriums and some other stuff. So I think there's a lot of stuff just in this general area that wouldn't scare people in terms of not being, not being so close, kind of thing. And then, of course, we can do field trips to the ISTE and the VISTE um, locations as well. And some of the speakers that I was thinking of getting in contact with have teaching spaces, so we may be able to take tours up to some of these teaching spaces and have those kinds of things be some of the activities that we do for the Mooc. So that's all the stuff that I wanted to show you, just to give you an idea of what kind of options we've got. I know Dolores has teaching spaces and other options, and there's the Instituto Español. If I can get Wilson Voigt or Eugenia to give a talk, and even without that, I'm sure we can get a tour. They have good galleries and lots of great stuff, and there's Machu Picchu, and there's lots of things that we can do. The university from Peru, I think it is, San Martin de, I think it's Porres. They have some great builds as well. Dolores would know more about that, but there's just lots of stuff that we can use, and things that I have connections to, like the Visti people. Some of them live in Caledon, which is the Scottish community. Some of them live in Steelhead, which is the steelpunk area that has a replica of the Library of Congress, and that's if it's available, they don't even charge for you to do an activity in there. And then I have a friend who runs the London Sim, so there's lots of possibilities, and so this is just to give you an idea of what's up. So there you go. Bye now.